viewers, welcome to Story Time, brought to you by Faith Family Church. My name is Pete Hufton, and I have another story for you. You know, there's a lot of fear going around these days. I wonder, what are you scared of? Is there something that makes you a little bit apprehensive? Well, I want to see how frightened you get by my neighbor's dog. Now, this is no ordinary dog. The breed of this dog is called a Central Asian Shepherd. Google it. You might be confused for a horse, but no, it's a dog. It's a humongous dog. It's bred for one main purpose, and that is to fight wolves. Yeah, I'm not joking. It is a wolf hunting dog. What? Okay! And I have one that lives next door to me. Let's see how scared we get trying to pet this dog. You want to come with me? Come on.
Okay.
You come with me. Ready? Let's go.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go pet this dog. It's a big dog. It's all right. Let's go pet this thing. Let's go pet this thing. Oh yeah. Oh, I see him. Oh, and his name is Top Cho. Top Cho. Oh look, he sees me. He's like, what is this dude doing? All right, we're at the gate. We're at the gate. He's looking at me right now. You ready? You ready for this? All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, we're in Lion's Den. Tapacha, come here, boy. Oh my God. Oh my. Look how big this dog is. I'm covered in your hair now. Oh my gosh. Oh. Now Top Joe, he's huge, right? So, I mean, he's got a lot of strength. He doesn't use it. Like, look at this. He doesn't use his strength, but he has it. And I'm very aware that he could take me out if he wanted, but he does what he wants. He does what he wants, but... Oh, you're just a fluff ball. You're just a fluff ball. You don't love me. What they're bred for is to fight wolves. Like, you can see the skin on its neck. And so when the wolf clamps down on its neck, it doesn't grab its neck, it's only grabbing the skin. That's what they're bred for. They're wolf fighters, and they're big boys. And they're big boys. So I'm very aware of his power, and I don't want to push him to do something he doesn't want to do. Just like Top Joe here, he's got a lot of power, but he doesn't use it. He's really kind.
Woo! I had so much dog hair on me after that, I was caked. It was like a carpet. I mean, I gotta say, I'm a little bit scared every single time that dog approaches me the way it does. It comes charging right at me. No, he's bigger than me, he's faster than me. Faster, stronger. He jumps higher than me. Yeah, it's a little bit unnerving. And it's because I can't control him. No matter how hard I try, at the end of the day, Top Cho is gonna do what he wants to do. And it's the same in life. We're scared of the things that we cannot control. You know, fear is a powerful motivator, if not the most powerful motivator. Motivated. We fear what we cannot control. And we find that we cannot control everything in and around us, so we grow afraid. We are scared, and that motivates us. It propels us to try and control as much of our surroundings as possible. You know, 2 months ago when this whole quarantine thing fell, I heard toilet paper was running out. So a little bit of fear rose in me, and I thought, man, are diapers gonna run out? Because I have 2 kids, and if diapers run out, it is the end of the world. So I ran to Target. Well, I drove to Target. This is how I drive. Rushed into Target, I bought some diapers, and I was standing in line to buy them, and in front of me was this lady, and she was piled high in her shopping cart, full of toilet paper, frozen pizza, and a bunch of cat food. Yeah, a lot of cat food for that lady. And she was trying to pass it off like, oh, everything's the same, I'm not scared. And I'm looking at the cashier and I'm thinking the same thing. This lady's lost it. I mean, we all kind of lost it. You know, people do strange things when they're scared. We all do. We all do funny things when we're frightened, when we're trying to regain control in our lives. But you know, not all fear is a bad thing. It's a good thing to have a little bit of knowledge of what might hurt you, right? Running into a burning building, that's bad. You should run away from a burning building. Yeah, not buckling your seatbelt when you're driving, that's also bad. Eating the world's spiciest hot sauce. Clayton, bad times, man. I saw that. It wasn't good. You know, we shouldn't live afraid, but we should have a healthy respect for those things that could be potentially dangerous in our lives. But the problem arises when we think there's no danger when there actually is. Some things are dangerous and yet we don't view them that way. The thing is, we do this with God all the time. Yikes. When you start putting God in a box. Had to put a stick in a box. When you start deciding the limits of God in your life, when you think God has say in some of your life and not all of your life, when you think you can control God, when we think we can manipulate the rules, when we think we can take shortcuts, that is really when things start to get dangerous.
I also like to live dangerously.
The problem really starts is when we begin to think of God as less than who he really is. You know, there's this old-timey phrase called the fear of the Lord. I don't know if you've heard of it, but the Bible talks about it. And remember, we fear what we can't control.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate.
And eventually we try to control those things so we're not afraid anymore. But you cannot control God. So how does this work? Well, let's read a story about God himself and let's see how he's described. And let's see if we are living in a way that has a healthy respect for who God is. You ready? Exodus chapter 19, and we're gonna go verses 16 through 25. But this is when God is giving the 10 commandments to Moses. This is how God walks into the building. You ready? Imagine this, the whole nation of Israel, millions of people are encamped around this mountain that Moses is about to climb. And in verse 16 it says, on the morning of the third day, there was thunder and lightning, with a thick cloud over the mountain and a very loud trumpet blast. No one was blowing a trumpet, but they could hear a trumpet. Everyone in the camp trembled. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to meet with God. And they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke because the Lord descended on it in fire. I see fire. Okay. I think the fear of the Lord would kind of rest on me, and I would have a healthy respect for who God is. Let's continue. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace. The whole mountain trembled violently, and the sound of the trumpet, remember that trumpet? It grew louder and louder and louder. Then Moses spoke, and the voice of God answered him. So Moses basically climbs Mount Sinai. He goes up into the hurricane of a furnace to meet with God. And God basically tells him, hey, Moses, warn the people not to step foot on this mountain or else they're gonna die. What? So Moses goes back down and he puts caution tape all around the mountain. Probably took him a long time. And he's like, don't come near this mountain right now because stuff's happening. And then Moses goes back up the mountain and he receives the 10 commandments. And when he comes back down, chapter 20, verse 18 says this, when the people saw the thunder and lightning and heard the trumpet and saw the mountain in smoke, they trembled with fear, right? They stayed at a distance and said to Moses, speak to us yourself, Moses. We want you to speak to us and we're gonna listen. But do not have God speak to us or we will die. That's how scared they were.
So what are you telling us, Pete, that we need to be scared to death of God?
No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is this, that God is God. God loves you fiercely. But young person, get this. He is the God who is approachable, and he's the God who melts mountains beneath his feet. He is the God who is running towards you with arms open wide. And he's also the God who splits the sea. He is the God who stitched your personality together himself. And he is also the God who spun the stars into existence. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say this. Our God is uncontrollable. You know, the amazing thing about Top Show is that he could seriously hurt me in an instant or worse, but he chooses not to. You know, at the end of the day, he just wants to be petted because he's a good boy.
Who's a good boy?
But even still, I have to be aware and I have to be careful when I'm around him. I can't take his power for granted.
You underestimate my power.
I can't just assume that he's gonna behave in the way that I think he's gonna behave, or that I could try to control his actions. And it's the same with God. And if you don't take anything away from this, take this one thing with you. Stop trying to control and start to begin to trust. We cannot control God. We must trust in his goodness. Let's quit trying to control God all the time. Quit trying to put him in this box. Quit thinking, well, God, if you do this, then I'll do that. When you take all my stress away, then I'll read my Bible. As soon as you give me more peace, then I'll pray more. When people start being nice to me, I'll start being nice to others. When I start making more money, then I'll tithe. Is God not wild? Is God not good? Is he not faithful? Trust in him and see that he's good. I hope you're encouraged today, and I'll catch you later in our next episode in season 1 of Storytime. You!